Alright, hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the Cheerleader banner featuring Nice Nature and King Halo. We will also talk about the cards accompanying them, which is Bamboo Memory Guts and Seeking the Pearl Speed. We'll start off with Nice Nature. This horse is a significant upgrade to OG Nice Nature. She has 10% stamina, 10% power, 10% wit. She also has Turf A, C Mile, A Medium, A Long, allowing her to run in Mant very easily. She also has Pace B, Late A, and End D. Her unique skill is Go Go Goal. This is a final straight speed skill, which tends to be a finishing speed skill because it's on the final straight. To get a longer duration for this skill, you would want to use her as a unpopular horse, because one of her conditions is that if she is not popular, she gets 6 seconds of this skill, but if she is popular, she will get 5 seconds of this skill. So that's something that's very interesting, and basically it is a reference to Nice Nature being a bronze collector, right? Only third placers in real life. Later on, her skills also is very solid. Take the Chance, which is a medium acceleration skill. Dominator, I don't need to explain this one, right? There's plenty of Dominators already. They decrease current speed of all enemies. Then you also have Long Shot, which will increase your performance when you are 4th favorite or below, which is similar to Nice Nature being a bronze collector, right? And also No Stopping Me, which is a very powerful skill that only currently 3 horses have. Mayana Top Gun, your Kawakami Princess, as well as this Nice Nature. The only other way to get No Stopping Me is from Yukino Bijin Wit card. Right, so that is something that's very valuable, because that card is not very good, and you can replace that Yukino Bijin instead for another stronger wit card or another card that will give you an important skill compared to using a Yukino Bijin card inside your deck, right? One of the downsides of this horse, unfortunately, is that she is Nice Nature, which means that she cannot use the Nice Nature Wit card that is very powerful. There will be other decent ones that you can use, like Agnes Tachyon for the skill point bonus, or later on Mr. CB just for that +1 wit and skill point bonus. Alright, so this horse is basically very backliner focused and will want to basically gamble to get a victory, and she usually will want to be run in the medium, right, because of the access to additional accelerations and speed skills that she might have. For the No Stopping Me, it allows her to basically win whenever the final corner is at a, well, not at the acceleration start, right? So NSM is going to be a very important acceleration for her, and it allows her to win. That's the most important thing, right? The original Nice Nature cannot win at all because she's mostly just debuff spam. If you don't have innate skills, how are you going to win unless you literally buy all the skills from your cards alone? Right? Having NSM is really valuable to making this Nice Nature much more winnable with. Right? So this allows you to basically make her into a full-on Dominator, similar to your Grass Wonder and Tachyon, or you can make her into a hybrid by getting both skills, or you can make her into a full ace just by getting NSM. Right? So this horse is very versatile in that regard, and is much better than the OG Nice Nature. Later on in the upcoming scenarios, you will understand that actually the scenarios will start giving you so much stat lines that stamina debuffing is also not going to be very popular later on, and what happens is that it will always be Keen Eye spam or Dominator spam, because later on there's also going to be Summer Ghost Ship, which will allow you to spam those debuffs on every single track in the entire game, right? So something to take note of for the future, right? So this Nice Nature Cheerleader is a significant upgrade in almost every way for debuffing and for winning. So you can pull it if you want to make her win, otherwise there will be plenty of other options that are more meta than her, right? Moving on. We have the King Halo Cheerleader. King Halo Cheerleader is also a very niche option in terms of only being on the final straight again, but it's so powerful that she's sometimes used as a parent for certain tracks. One of the tracks is the Tokyo 1600, I believe that's the Yasuda Kinen, and also for the sprint CMs where you are using uniques such as El Condor Pasa and your Mummy Super Crate, basically straight lines. Her stat bonuses are 10% speed, 10% power, and 10% guts. This is very good for the sprint CMs that she's supposed to be very strong at. Her aptitudes are also excellent. Turf A, Short A, Mile B, Medium B, and Long C. She also has Late A and ND. Her pace is B, but we will not mention her pace because she's not meant to be run in the pace chaser position. Her unique is the reason why she's mostly a backliner character. Her powerful unique is basically once you get past the 50% mark of the distance, if you are in the 6th, 7th, or 8th position, and you did not panic you will get a 0.4 acceleration, which is ridiculously powerful. Right, 0.4 accels are always very valuable. This horse also has an inherited 0.2 acceleration, similar to something like your Anglian Scheming, your Red Shift, your Taiki Shuttle. All these inheritance, all 0.2, very hard to go and find. That's why they're so popular. This horse is one of them also. Right, the only downside is that this horse requires you to be in 6, 7, 8, which means you must be a backliner. Otherwise, you cannot take advantage of this skill at all. Right, so for the tracks where she is very good at, what happens is that because the final straight is at a good position, it ends up being a very end closer focused track. So what happens is that for the tracks that this King Halo Cheerleader is usually good at, she usually wants to be run as an end closer just to get access to that +1 more Excel skill. Notably, end closers also will be getting their Mr. CB card soon, which will allow them to get Daring Strike very easily. Right, so this is something to take note of and makes her into a much stronger horse. Mr. CB also comes with straightaway split, by the way. It is one of the hints that can be gotten from the card, which makes that card really good and really easy to make end closers with from now on. Right, so something to take note of for the future. Other than that, she also has a lot of late surger specific skills like your late surger straightaways, your Rising Dragon, and also your Spring Spectacle, which is a spring specific green skill that gives you more speed and power similar to Sakura Chiyo no O. We also have Watchful Eye, which is the white version of Keen Eye, which has a little bit of a speed debuff component to it. Right, Keen Eye is usually the better one to go and use outright, just to go and nuke enemies in terms of their speed. Right, Watchful Eye is just a small white one. Right, but if you buy 3 Watchful Eyes, that can be significantly impactful for those mouse CMs if you want to. Right, other than that, there's nothing much else to say about this horse. She's just very niche, but very powerful when that niche is met. In the future, there will be plenty of horses that are niche like her, and when those CMs come out, they will become very powerful horses also. Right, suddenly from L tier into wow, this horse is insanely powerful. That's something like a King Halo Cheerleader over here, but not to that extent yet. This King Halo Cheerleader will fall off later on. There will be other things to go and hunt for, but this King Halo Cheerleader for now is going to be very relevant, because upcoming Tokyo 1600, that should be one of the tracks where her end closer is going to be very powerful because of the ability to get this 0.4 XL, very powerful, similar to an Encroaching Shadow essentially. Right, so yeah, very powerful horse later on, and then we'll see which sprint CM she's going to be very popular in. Right, every time you see Mami Super Creek as well as your El Condor Pasa Unique be used, that's usually when King Halo Cheerleader is also going to be used for the backliners. Moving on, we have the Bamboo Memory Guts card. This card is very focused into the miles because the go skill is going to be full of vigor, which is a speed skill for the final corner. The final corner, this speed skill is occasionally very good because you'll be able to maybe get a speed carry over. But when it's not very good, then it's not really a very essential skill for those CMs. Right, but the other things that this card gives you is also a very good amount of stat points. So if you want to go into mile CMs and you know that your speed and your power and your weight is going to be very high already, then you might as well pump the guts, because the guts can help you to duel, and the guts cards that are good will help you to max your speed and your power or even your skill points. Right, this card is also notable for that because this card has a speed bonus of 1 and a training effectiveness of 10%. It also has a very unique effect of the less energy you have, the more friendship bonus you gain. During Make a New Track, this card is actually very valuable because in Make a New Track, you can use those charms, and those charms let you train at 0 energy, allowing you to get a lot more friendship bonus than you usually would be getting from this card. Right? Other than that, this card also has Specialty Priority of 65, which is good, and Race Bonus of 10%, which is also good, and Friendship Gauge of 35, which is also very good. So this card, everywhere, there's no real big flaw on this card. The skills are okay, and occasionally that Full of Vigor is going to be very good also. Right, so this card is a very solid Guts card for those of you who want to go and do some Guts gaming later on. But notably, this is for those rich people. Alright, this card is too niche for you to go and pull, because after Make a New Track, this card is not going to be that important. There will be much more important Guts cards later on. Right, Go City Guts, KS Miracle Guts, and Urara Guts. Those are the big 3 that you will be usually using later on in the future. Right, other than that, we have Seeking the Pearl Speed. Seeking the Pearl Speed is going to be just not even close in terms of comparison to any other card. And that's because of her unique effect. Her unique effect is so homeless. The more maximum energy you have, the higher TE you gain. Who is pumping their maximum energy? This is actually unreal. And if you look at the rest of her stat lines, she has no TE at all at base. Alright, literally none. Kita-san Black at least has 15%. So that's something that she can do for you. But this card, absolutely nothing, right, in terms of TE. So that means that she's basically a super specialized speed card only. She doesn't help click any other stat lines. If you look at Esmaru, she can give you up to 25 TE just by having high facility level. You can get 25 TE from Biko Pegasus just by existing, right? So those cards are just going to be a lot more better in terms of high rolling the stat lines compared to something like this. Her friendship bonus is still good. Her friendship gauge is good. Her spec priority is okay. Her race bonus is 5%, which is not ideal. Skill point bonus of 1 is very valuable and rare. Speed bonus of 1 and initial power of 30. So this card really looks good, but then you realize that, hey, there's no TE on this card at all, making her like a vodka or something like that, where she doesn't help any other clicks at all. Right, so that's not exactly the greatest thing you want to have on your speed card. Other than that, the skills of this card, it gives you firm conditions, watchful eye, which is the keen eye white version, prepared to pass, only good on the corners where it's good, right, where you can get speed carryovers, or it can just give you some sort of mid-leg speed somehow, then it will be good. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of like a meh finishing speed skill like Baracol. Baracol is much better than this one, because Baracol is at least 0.25. Prepared to pass is not really that level. Alright, it's only 0.15. Then after that, we also have Head On, which is a very important acceleration for the Pace Chasers, because Pace Chasers currently are a bit homeless. But if you really wanted Head On, there are much better ways to get it, such as the Mayano Top Gun, or just by playing the game, because if you just race, you can just get Head On randomly, right? Yeah, so that's what you can do over there. And then for her gold skill that she gives you is going to be Dauntless. This is a 2.4 seconds base duration, increased target speed of 0.35, and increased acceleration of 0.1. Late Surger only skill. You must be from position 3 to position 7, and it will activate at the second half of the race. Alright, so this skill, the acceleration part is very random. It's not going to be very consistent at all, so most of the time you'll only be getting a 0.35 speed, and very rarely you'll get that 0.1 acceleration, which makes it quite powerful when it triggers, but most of the time it's just a 0.35 speed skill. Right, so it's nothing to really scream happy about, and because speed cards are super competitive in this game, you don't want to have a mediocre speed card as much as possible. So Seeking the Pearl is really going to just fall off the radar, just disappear, right? You will be very happy just by not knowing that this card exists already. Right, there will be another Seeking the Pearl speed card later on, and that card is much more notable than this one. So this is the first time they released it, then later on they redeemed it by releasing the second version of Seeking the Pearl, which is a lot more usable than this one. Right, so that's pretty much the summary of this entire banner here. Nice Nature is a nice upgrade to the OG Nice Nature. King Halo Cheerleader is a very niche horse in terms of the meta, but when she's nichely meta, she's really strong for those situations. Right, and then Bamboo Memory is usually for the rich. Please do not pull if you are the poor person. There will be much more important banners later down the line. The upcoming gacha timeline that my team is working on will explain all of this to you later on. Right, so that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any more questions about gacha stuff or about the game in general, feel free to go to the Discord. The Discord has a lot of notable people that can help you out, or you can go through the Twitch and YouTube live streams. If you want to ask questions, I'll try my best, but if I cannot answer all of you, right? And then the last one will be the Ko-fi, where you can just DM me and I'll try my best to answer your questions as much as possible. Right, so that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time, and good luck if you're going to be pulling on any of these characters. Bye bye, everyone.